Okay, so this is going to build off what we did this last week a little bit of the seated S mount where you're sitting on the chest. And it's also just playing in this principle, Danaher broke down, it's like all other things being equal, whoever can apply pressure to like the collarbones, like upper chest and head more in the round is probably going to win, just because it's exhausting to have somebody like smashing down. So the idea is that they should be under so much pressure, they're having like, it's hard to take a deep breath, they're like struggling, but I want to make a caveat right now that it's not about like clamping down, at least not the way that I'm playing it, because it's not a lot of muscle effort, it's about like where you pinpoint your weight. And I break it down like pressure to, I want to put it here, or I want to put it right across the floating ribs, or I want to put it across the hips, depending on what I'm trying to control. But if it's in a midpoint, like if I'm actually just sort of like above the floating ribs on his chest, I don't find that it's that effective. And similarly, like if I'm just kind of sitting on his belly, but I'm not really controlling the hips and I'm not putting pressure into the floating ribs, I'm not applying it as effectively as it could. Like yes, it's weight that he has to move, but I want to apply it somewhere where it's also going to make it difficult for him to breathe. And yay, this is going to be so fun. Okay. All right, so transition off like a defended mount here, like what we've been playing is moving up into this S mount, knowing we're probably going to lose one of the arms, but we don't really care, right? And so I'm working this switch over, and then right here, like I'm looking for those floating ribs. I'm anchoring a little bit with this heel to apply some of that. If I'm just sitting here, it's different, so there is some engagement to sink the weight. And then as Dan's working to neutralize and escape, my whole goal is just to bring this knee closer to this heel. So as he's working, I'm just looking for chances to slide that up. And then I want my weight to be a factor the whole time. So now I'm sitting down on that upper chest, collarbone, neck area. And I've got his arm. I'm ready to look for arm bars from here, Kimuras, and Americanas, depending on what his arm is doing. I can transition now into belly down armbar or drop over into standard armbar. So again, he's starting to beat me. I'm just making this switch, right? So I want to get that foot up. I'm putting my weight in my hands. Let's do that slow. I'm putting my weight in my hands so that this one can swing around. And then I'm pulling this heel in. Like, even if he's blocking with his head, that's fine. I still think about my goal is knee and heel are moving towards each other, closing this iris of my legs until something gives. And that my weight is on him. So if I put my weight into my knees when I'm doing that, I don't have the same control. He can bump and throw, he can get out pretty easily. We'll look a little bit at like opportunities to do that when passing as well. Like we'll look at maybe just one really quick, which is if you have me in half guard. Yes, I can fight back here, but I can also look for an opportunity to make sure that he has to deal with my weight here. I found that this tends to expose me to a sweep, but if I'm ready to ride that out, I'm going to do okay. Then I can move my way up and pass. But it's an interesting principle to play with. It has played out for me. Turns out Danaher knows a thing or two. That applying that weight around here is pretty wearing for the person who's being pinned. And leaves me free to move.
Felt good. Loved it.
Perfect.